Why, hello everybody, Spencer here, also known as ScreenSpeak, and in today's video, this is my Wicked 2024 Part 1, Wicked Part 1, that came out 2024, spoiler review. So without further ado, let's discuss. Alright, I heard some birds up there. I thought I was getting a phone call, but I wasn't. So anyways, this movie was a treat to watch. I have to be forward and honest with you. I'm a bit of a Dumbo, because I am not an elephant like Dumbo, but I'm not using any notes here today. That's not why I'm dumb, but I'm not using any notes. I posted a review, or a short, like, out of theater review of sorts, as I always do on Instagram. Be sure to check out my Instagram page. I normally talk about it at the end, but the reason I am dumb is because I was one of those people that wasn't like, oh, we're getting Wicked, and I was negative for the dumbest of reasons. I just didn't understand the green skin look, and then I was like, I love the musical Wicked. Why am I being so negative towards this? And I was like, oh, Ariana Grande, pop star in this Broadway movie. But all that's out the window, right? All that was out the window. And then I saw all the promotions and stuff getting ready for this, and I'm like, I heard people saying it's like Oscar worthy, and then I was just looking at the trailers again. I'm going, I'm so negative towards this for the dumbest of reasons, for no reason. Now, I still have my curiosity. Like, I'm going to watch Moana 2 later this week and make a review of it, like, next week. So that I'm kind of iffy. The one song by Chihu for Moana sounds interesting, but Mufasa I have no excitement towards. I'm, like, negative towards it because for reasons I can talk about in a separate video. It probably later. So, The Wicked is phenomenal. It takes the Broadway adaptation and it adapts the book adaptation, where I've never read the book, but it adapts the Broadway into a longer format for a movie, and it does it in a beautiful way, and it does it in a this, like, cinematography is gorgeous. I have to announce that the cinematography coming out of this movie, I said this is better than Gladiator 2 because of the stuff that they do. Like Gladiator 2, I made my review. Gladiator 2 shot gorgeously. The costumes are great. I definitely think that Gladiator 2 could be one of the nominations for costumes. Even Wicked can be costumes as well. But Wicked has a lot more of this grandiose filmmaking where Gladiator 2 does, but Gladiator 2 falls short of sequel bait. Wicked is this high-profile, popular, no pun intended, Broadway musical being adapted in its first time for, not live action, I meant movie theater experience, and it's just wonderful. And when it starts out, you see, the No One Mourns the Wicked song in the introduction. It starts out, and you see the Wizard of Oz, the four, Dorothy, Tin Man, Scarecrow, and the Cowardly Lion. The Cowardly Lion is like live action, like how they're making The Lion King. And it didn't bother me because it was there for like 2 seconds. So you see that and I go, oh, that's cool, but it's not like he talked. If he was talking and it was like the whole movie, that would have bothered me, just like The Lion King. Funny enough, there is a cub later in the movie, and there's like some underwater shots, and I go, oh, it's like they brought Little Mermaid and Lion King into this one movie. So that was funny. 3, I don't know why I said 3, but again, I love the whole opening shot, and then we go, like, behind, like, we said, oh yeah, we met at school, and they go back, and they have the title card, Wicked Part 1, like an old-timey, like, Wizard of Oz text. Oh, it was so good. And the 2P continued. I cried at the end of it. Just kind of skipping all around here. I cried at the end of it. I don't really want to spoil too much, but the thing that I also liked, Jeff Goldblum was a treat to see when he's going, you gotta give the people what they want. It's great. I loved his performance as The Wiz. It was great, because I was watching the trailer, I was like, oh, that's a shame for his career. Like, why am I saying that? He was so good in this movie. Michelle Yeoh was great in here as well. The guy who played Ethan Slater, who was in SpongeBob, in the SpongeBob musical, treat to see in this as well. And I'm just wondering, like, I loved how they showed Wicked, Elphaba. I loved all the songs. Defying Gravity, we'll get to in a minute. but Popular was great as well. One Short Day and the Wizard and I and One Short Day in the Emerald City. All of that was great. But the knowledge, learning how Elphaba, the Wicked Witch, created the Flying Monkeys, was something I was so ecstatic by. Also, they had the ruby slippers in the song Popular, but there was another moment in there where, creating a yellow brick road and creating the flying monkeys, which I've seen Wicked the musical. It's been years since I've seen it, but I don't remember either of those things. Maybe they talked about it. I just don't remember. I just remember the songs and such. But creating the yellow brick road and creating the flying monkeys were two of the things I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool in this film. Because you know, watching a film, in my opinion, is easier to comprehend in my knowledge than a Broadway show is. Because I'm just looking on stage and just looking at, you know, the stuff going on, the people on stage. But this was, you know, the visuals, like, creating the yellow brick road and creating the flying monkeys where Elphaba chants a spell. That was, like, shocking, and I didn't know that, like, that lore. So I'm learning something there. And there's all, like, the set design for the Emerald City was gorgeous beyond belief, and their costumes, like I said, the costumes, this film can be nominated for that. Specifically, like, the cinematography is gorgeous and everything, like, the choreography, because I think that they could do that. It should be. And another thing is, it just brought me back watching it, like, it brought me back to playing in the Emerald City and the Wizard of Oz and the Lego Dimensions. So good. I love that world a lot. And, like, that's one of the things, like, that kind of elevated my love for it. Like, I'm not a big Wizard of Oz fan, but playing that in the Lego game was so much fun. And seeing that in this movie, just the expansive world was amazing. So that's that. We also get in Alpha, again, this is a spoiler review, in Emerald City, there's like these Wizomania players, and we see Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth those are the original Glinda and Elphaba actresses on Broadway, and they're in this, and it's totally recognizable. You'll know right away. I knew right away, but I was like, am I going to know it if they're going to be like doused in makeup or aged up or something? But totally recognizable. They come out, and I mean, they don't say their names, but they say like Wizomania players, and when they say Wizomania players and like these two women step out, you'll know who they are. So, I mean, if you don't, like, if you're not a musical person, you probably won't know. But like me, I've seen them in other things. If this helps you at all, if you know High School Musical, the series, mouthful, I know. Kristen Chenoweth is that her name? Yeah, is the drama teacher. So that's who she is, and so that's that. But man, there's so many things running through my head. The Flying Monkeys, like I said, she changed the belt. That was cool. But the Yellow Brick Road, and I was like, oh man, this is so interesting to learn this lore as well. I don't remember if that was in the Broadway musical, but learning those two things was a treat to hear about. But the ending shot, though, like Defying Gravity, I listened to this music, like the Broadway music, and then I listened to the movie music a couple days before and stuff, before it came out, like when it was released, because I watched this 5 days ago. Or 5 days while it was in theaters, and this is coming out a week later when it's in theaters. So I did that, I listened to it, and it's just great to hear that note Elphaba does in the trailer. And at the end, like, I was crying because of the story, because of the nostalgia from me seeing the show and seeing this, Cynthia Erivo do that vocal chord, and it was like just the way it ended with To Be Continued. It was fantastic. It kind of goes back to me watching Across the Spider-Verse. That's a To Be Continued movie, right? And it's not that emotional. Like, Across the Spider-Verse isn't that emotional of a movie, but the way it's like Gwen Stacy gets her teams and then goes off the fling in the web and you want to be in? Like, you in? And then she's off and it says To Be Continued. That kind of like gets me a little bit like teary, like, oh, where's this going? Like, Miles is in danger. It's not like super, super sad, but at the end of Wicked, it's just it brought me to tears, like, oh, this ending. Like, I know of the story of Wicked, but just the way it played out and the way it says To Be Continued, I'm like, this is emotional. I was crying. I was like, tears going down my face, like, ah. So, yeah, that was me there. You should have been there for it. It was a great time. But for me, though, this is a 10 out of 10 movie. I really don't know what else I have to say. All the songs are perfect. I think they added one. I think the Dancing Through Life one, when They were the Jonathan Bailey. My mom said that the Prince, he was in the musical, but I can't. I feel like that song was added. I'm not sure. I could take the time to look, but I'm too lazy. I'm not lazy, but I don't know. I think that was added in. It felt really long, and it felt, maybe it was there. I just don't recall. So you guys let me know if you're diehard Wicked fans. Listen, I like the show Wicked. I just don't recall. I didn't bother looking it up before or after. And yeah, I know they definitely added a song or something. I thought it was the one by Jonathan Bailey where it was Dancing Through Life. So I don't know. I don't remember. But everything was great. I loved it a lot, and the whole relationship. Like this is another thing I want to mention before I leave today. I don't know how they're gonna market this next movie. They can do it. I mean, they marketed the hell out of this one, but like, the only song that's crucial about Act 2 is No Good Deed. No Good Deed. Is that the last song? No Good Deed. I don't know. The final song, or For Good. I think No Good Deed is somewhere in there. But For Good, the last one. But I mean, I guess the way they marketed this movie was the last song of the movie, Defying Gravity, but why would they just market For Good? I don't know. It's just, to me, like, I don't know what they would market around it, and I can't remember exactly what the ending of Wicked is, because, like, hear me out, I haven't seen the Broadway show in a while, and part 2 hasn't come out yet, so, like, I'm trying to remember, like, if the Wicked Witch dies in Wizard of Oz, and if we know that she dies from the opening of part 1, I forget what the happy ending of the story is. You know what I mean? Like, oh, do they become friends again? Or do they go off separate ways? Because part 1 ends, they go their separate ways. So I can't remember if they go off in their separate ways again, or if they become friends and then, like, she dies in Wizard of Oz. I don't know. The story is fun. It's fun. It's a fun watch, so I'm just waiting for next year, guys. But as of now, this movie gets a 10 out of 10 for me on every level. It's not making it into my top 10, if that's okay, but it's definitely right under my top 10, because I have other movies on my top 10 list of the year waiting for Nosferatu. But this is up there, definitely going to be on my honorable mentions. It's a 10 out of 10, A+ on the enjoyment scale, and can't say more great things about it. Don't know why I was so negative. You should watch it if you're a musical fan. If you're not a musical fan, like, I just recommend it for, like, everything else movie structure wise. Like, it's just beautiful. So one of my friends loves the first Gladiator, and I watched Gladiator 2 and I was like, he probably won't like this, and I was like, maybe over Christmas break I'll watch it with him. Still thinking about that. I'm like, he probably won't like. I know that he would enjoy hanging out and watching a movie like Gladiator 2 with me, but he probably wouldn't still enjoy watching it. I'm telling you guys right now, if you are trying to decide what to watch Wicked over Gladiator 2. It's just much better experience. That's just me, though. If you are not a musical person, don't bother your time to watch it. If you're wanting to decide something, like, I haven't seen Moana 2 yet, but that will probably come out next week. So stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for part 2 of Cobra Kai review. I will be watching Act 2 of Cobra Act 2, second set of episodes for Cobra Kai, and a whole bunch more of this coming December Christmas break. Don't forget to leave a like on this video if you did enjoy the review. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Greenspeak, and follow me over at Boba Fett Cinemaster Instagram. Got a phone right here. So be sure to use your phone, or if you're on your computer, you can use that too. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me. Don't forget to keep calm, watch the screen. Peace out, everyone. Bye.